Well, my truck is finished. Today is Tuesday, December 22nd, I believe. Oh wow, the neck didn't even move. So what they did is they took care of that of the check engine light, which was coming on and then disappearing. I'll just show you the bill in a second, but first I wanted to show something in case people from Kenworth are watching. From the Kenworth dealer, where I paid over $6,000 to replace the fuel filter assembly. Remember that fiasco? So I asked these guys over here, I said, when so the main reason for the visit was check engine light, and then I said, can you please change the fuel filter? And I give him my primary, so this time I'm using 10. You see it says 10 microns, because that's what Cummins recommended me in Nova Scotia. Before I used the 25 microns. He says that's no good, and I gave him a number for this. So I said this was mine, but I asked him, I didn't have this one. I said change both. That's my primary filter water separator, that's the secondary, right? And they said, and that's where Pekka used to be over here, and they said they could not unscrew the filter. So it's a good thing that I asked him to do this. He says when Cummins installed this, they put it too close to the frame, so this ring could not be even turned. So he says they had to undo it and put a couple of spaces in there. So he says now it's easy to do. Okay, so that was the interesting thing I wanted to show you guys. So Kenworth charged me so much money and they didn't even install it properly. I'm sorry to say. I love those guys like my family, but like it was a rush job. So anyway, so they changed they fixed the light, the check engine light. Turns out my soot level was too high, and you see it's all greased. So they had to do a regen, which I cannot do from the cab. They said that, you know, that manual button that I have in the cab, that's only good for DEF filter, but to clean the big one, what is it, DPF, you need to do it through the computer. Like you need to start it, you know, by connecting, and so that's what they did. And after that, so the soot level went down, everything was cool. They cleared the check engine light, and so they changed the filters. And okay, hold on, what was my, and they greased the chassis. And I will look later into that traction control. Sometimes I get that ABS traction control thing. It comes on and then disappears. So a bit chilly today. It started at like -1, 30 F to 72 Kelvin, and that's what I paid. You see, this is Canadian funds. So regen issues was $329 plus $90 diagnostics and troubleshooting, and then $94 was fuel filter change, and that secondary filter, which I didn't supply, was $68, and grease was 47 bucks, and so it came to $165 in parts and $470 labor, $635 plus $25 of course shop supplies, and $85 sales tax, 13% HST, which I'm gonna get back. And so over here I paid $746.94 Canadian, and like I said, so I'm gonna get back 85 bucks next month. Okay, my def is low. That's what I should do. Oh yeah, you see now TC traction control is on, ABS is on. So the plan now is to return to the yard and park in front of the trailer. And I checked out of the hotel today and went to Starbucks. Starbucks is still closed. For dining, so you cannot sit inside. Okay, on duty, PTI, pre-trip inspection, save, inspection, add, truck 305, next, sign, save. Okay, back. One driving event. You see, they always shows this because I wasn't here, right? So this thing was turned off and they drove into the shop, and as soon as they go above like 5 kilometers an hour, 3 miles an hour, you see, now I claimed it. I said, yeah, it was a yard move. My yard is 17 kilometers away, and I took an Uber here. Each time they're not happy, you know, they don't like these longer runs. So it's 17 kilometers. Uber charged me 36 bucks, and I gave the poor guy a tip because I said, you should be able to find a load out of here, right? And he said, oh no, I'll just go back empty to Cambridge. I said, why is that? Like Guelph nearby is a much bigger town. Can't you find you know, somebody from here? Oh, I don't know, roads are not good. And that's a monster. Check this out, monster Ram, huge off-road tires, 1500. For some reason no plate in the back. Somebody drove it here, but no plate. And it's all trucks. Check this out. What is it? Chevy Ram. You know, shop guys, mechanics, they like trucks, right? All right, I'm just waiting till this thing warms up. Okay, what am I gonna do about DEF? I need like a truck stop, kind of like a Flying J or something like that. And so I've been talking about to brokers. Monday I sent out my you know, truck available to my contacts on my mailing list, and got a couple of calls, a couple of emails. One guy wanted me to go to Idaho. I said no. Some kind of a 50,000 pound drill rig from Toronto, from a suburb near Toronto, all the way to Idaho, like 2,500 miles. And you know, what am I gonna do in Idaho? Then it's 1,000 miles deadhead back to at least Chicago, and of course you end up there after, you know, after New Year. So there's not gonna be any work, so I'll probably have to deadhead again all the way back home, because no, first week of January it's not good. And then Another load was they wanted me to go empty to Texas to the Caterpillar plant and pick up a rock truck, a Caterpillar rock truck. I give him a rate. You know, I know that recently Caterpillar has been very schemish, you know, very tight with the money, and so I give him a good rate, just a, you know, fair rate, especially since I have to deadhead there 1,600 miles. But then I was coming right back to Ontario, but it was like urgent. It has to be picked up, you know, before the new year, before the year's end, and ideally should be delivered on the last day of the year. I said, yeah, I can do that. Just, you know, pay me the rate. I'll go down there empty. I'll bring it back on time. And it took that lady yesterday whole day, today, and finally around 10 o'clock she says Caterpillar decided to use the rail option. A rail option, like a rail, there's no way it's gonna be here by the end of the year, right? Because rail, you cannot control the speed, right? Because it's a freight train. I know this because I used to work on the railroad in Russia, right? So I know that passenger trains always are given priority to freight trains, so that's why freight trains will sit like for a couple of days at a station somewhere. So it'll take like probably 4 weeks. But I guess money is the big thing. They decided not to pay the truck for this kind of like expedite load. And then another one, I'm talking to another broker. There's another machine that I can pick up in the States and also bring back to Canada, but it's much more miles, but again some empty, but deadhead is much less, only 600 miles empty. And then I go to a very remote part of Canada, but they pay for permits. They said, yeah, we're gonna compensate you for permits and escorts. And so far I don't know if that one will happen or not, but basically, yeah, the plan now is to do another load at least by the end of the year. But today's 22nd, of course, you know, Thursday everybody's gonna be Thursday. I think people only if they work, do they work? I think even on 23rd some places will be closing down. And we have some bad news in Ontario here with this stupid COVID-19. The government of Ontario decided to lock down the province. At first they wanted to do it at after midnight today, which is like 22nd. Right after 21st ends, they wanted it to lock down at 1 minute past midnight on 21st, you know, between 21st and 22nd. So today is 22nd, Tuesday. And then they decided to show some mercy to all these poor retail stores, you know, small businesses, because of course the Boxing Day right after Christmas is a source of some, you know, so much needed revenue for small businesses and retail stores and everything. And they were complaining about this because of COVID, right? So lots of businesses are going out of business. And so the government decided, okay, we're not gonna lock down today on Tuesday, but we're gonna lock down after Boxing Day. And that's what's happening. So they're and lockdown means basically pretty much the same what we have now, except now we have some restaurants that are open with limited capacity. Like Starbucks is closed. They decide not to offer any sitting area. You can just go in, buy and leave. But other coffee shops are open. Come on, when does that needle goes up to 100? That's what I'm waiting for. The air is already warm. We should be good. All right, finally started moving. Okay, hold on. I think I heard a beep. I got an email. All right, I got an offer to go to a dental clinic. Like, why would I spend Christmas in anticipation of a visit to a dentist? Forget it. So yeah, these guys they do hydraulic work, and they do drivetrain. No, this is not one of your like basic shops. So these guys can do some, you know, serious stuff. But you see, the truck is 2.5 years old, and usually think year 3 or end of like somewhere around now, you might need to do a cleanup of the DPF filter. See, for now they were just able to do regeneration, but next time, if this does not work, I forgot how much it costs, a couple of $1,000s I think, or $1,000 to take out the DPF filter and clean it, because when it cannot be regenerated, then it can be, there's a special procedure for cleaning them. And then the next worst thing that can happen with this emissions equipment is when that filter is totally bad, which means that it cannot be, you cannot do regeneration, you cannot just clean the filter, you need to buy a new filter, and those are super expensive.
Head southwest on McLean Road toward Rock Road South, Wellington 46.
Probably that's when it's time to sell the truck, when you when you need a new DPF filter. I came here a few times. This is a big crane company, lots of cranes, but they have their own trucks. And we have a train station here. It's already 11:21, so by the time I reach Cambridge, it might be time to go for lunch. I'm gonna go back to my to that Lebanese restaurant. Oh, in the last video I ended up, when you saw me pulling into the parking lot of Walmart, and I did buy a fancy pants. This time these are $30 Canadian, so I feel like royalty now, you know. So I'm wearing $30 fancy sport track pants and safety boots. I think these were around $200, but they're about probably 2 years old, but still good. winter is coming. I think tomorrow we're gonna have like -7. And now in northern Ontario they have lots of snow.
Left onto the Ontario 401 West ramp.
But over here, just bad clouds. So it might snow, but probably not. But not a very good, you know, not a feel-good weather. It's chilly, even though it's +2, so 34 F. This out. As soon as I said it's not gonna snow, it started snowing. Yeah, yesterday I was watching a weather report and they were saying there's a high chance that here in Ontario we're gonna have a white Christmas. In other news, BBK Performance emailed me yesterday saying my new shiny 85mm throttle body is about to be shipped. And I look at the company they used, and it says USPS, United States Postal Service. And I sent him an email. I said that's not gonna work, because we are sending it to a UPS customer center, and they will not they will not agree to receive a package from another carrier, so it has to be UPS. And so the sales manager emailed back like a copy to me that he's of the email that he sent to the customer service. He says cancel the shipment, must be UPS. Okay, because that's what I told them first time. I said please use UPS only. I wrote 3 times UPS only, UPS only. And if I could do this load from Illinois, actually the one I meant, I would be crossing via Port Huron, and so that would be pretty cool, so I can pick up this throttle body, because I think they wanted to ship it like a second day air, which would work. But so far, I don't know. So far, my truck is still available. I don't have a load. After lunch, we'll go back to the load board and see if anybody posted anything new. What? I'm being passed by a freight liner. That's not good. Trucks always leave over here and they go into this lane because that's a very nice rest area with coffee shops, you know, fast food places, and there's truck parking, but not too much, not too many spots. Yeah, it's called en route or en route service center. They even have a Starbucks in here, so there's one on each side of the freeway. Very windy today. I can feel how the truck is trying to go to one side. All right, Cambridge, population 130,000 people. I like small towns, you know. I used to live near Toronto. Too much traffic, too much BS. Over here we have all the same stores, movie theaters, hospitals, you know, except everything is tidier and smaller. Well, I'm glad I had the truck fixed, because I was a bit concerned about that, you know, check engine light on, off. 3 days on, then it disappears, and then it comes back, right? So that's not good. But what's funny is that to me it was just showing as a malfunction, right? It did not say anything about the soot level being high. But that's exactly what these guys discovered, right? So even this fancy diagnostics that I'm paying, what, $200 a year for, US?
Use the left 2 lanes to turn left onto Town Line Road, Waterloo 33.
It's still not very accurate, right? Tells me bad sensor, turns out it's high level soot. So that's a big deal, because if it's something serious like that soot level, for example, I know that if I didn't fix it, it would derate me.
Use the left 2 lanes to turn
You know?
left onto Town Line Road, Waterloo 33.
Which is not a good idea, which is not good when you have a load. So, like, you know, the ultimate case of derate is like when you limit it to 5 miles an hour, 8 kilometers per hour, where you can only limb over to a shop to fix the problem. So that was a very important repair. So I'm glad they found the reason and they fixed it, right? And then the filters, you see now it's all on 0. I'm talking about the fuel.
600 meters, turn right onto Pine Bush Road, Waterloo Regional Road 39.
Fuel filter restriction. So perfect. And they greased the truck, so now I have 20,000 kilometers till the oil change. So I do 40,000 kilometers, 25,000 miles between oil changes, and then I do grease 50%, like between oil changes. So let's say 40,000 kilometers, I do grease at 20,000 kilometers interval, which is 12.5 thousand miles. And that's what we did now. Perfect. So 248.6, well, a little bit earlier, but so now the truck is greased, we have new fuel filters, the check engine light is fixed. All I need now is a good load. If one more load before the end of the year. Oh, and yesterday I got paid for that excavator from Tennessee, and the first thing I did, I sent the first payment to the Fontaine dealer for the flip axle.
Right onto Pine Bush Road, Waterloo Regional Road 39.
So now they have my deposit, and we have the sales order in place. So a few more payments and I will be able to pick it up. And then things should become
400 meters at the roundabout, take the second exit. Stay on Pine Bush Road, Waterloo Regional Road 39.
things should become more interesting, because I will have tried them with a tandem booster. Really looking forward to that one. one of these loads that I've been talking about, it does not require the booster, and if I keep the booster, it'll be very difficult to get permits. And so if I do get that load, I will have to find a way to disconnect the booster and change the neck. I'm not sure if there's anybody parked. If anybody parks next to me. I'm just still thinking about that guy. I don't know, will he be able to get out of there? I think this is good. All right, so there's my repair bill. Oh, nice. So that's it. Well, if it goes down, it'll just sit on top of the frame. But yeah, you see, I would have to change if I'm approved for that load in US. I would have to change the flip box, put on that one that's in the field now, get the booster out. I really don't want to do that because I don't have any way to, like, you know, that excavator, right? That we had the excavator here. That's the one I moved to Quebec, so it's sold. So I will need a way to reach that flip box.
In 600 meters, turn left onto Lake
driver training. Corolla, Toyota Corolla, nice looking, you know, color palette. I wonder how is he gonna. His lane ends after the intersection. So this is Franklin Boulevard, and this is that one Franklin. This is Canara. Canamera, yeah, Canamera. Another training. Check this out. Truck Training Center. See, that's what it's called in Canada. AZ or AZ. AZ, that's what I have. That's for the tractor trailer. DZ is for a straight truck. And Z means air brakes. So you need that endorsement to operate a tractor trailer with air brakes. And of course, all of tractor trailers have air brakes, so even though technically you can drive it with just an A license, but since they have air brakes, there's a separate exam and test, you know, and pretty complicated because you need to know all these cutoff pressures, you know, you need to know a lot of numbers to pass. To pass that test. And this place where I'm going, so it's right next to this Waterloo Regional Police Service South Division, but for some reason I never see cops in there. They never buy food from that place. I see them quite often at the Starbucks on Haspler, where they buy when they load up on fancy coffee, but I never see them at the Pizza Hut. Oh, and now they introduced new plates in new license plates. In Ontario, like the old one is white background, blue letters, but the new one is different. I think new one is
Your destination is on the left.
new one is blue background, white letters. At first I saw it, you know, it looks so much nicer. At first I thought it was like a dealer plate. I don't know, I see more and more vehicles have, yeah, like over there, like that, what is that? That guy has a blue background with some picture, with some drawing. So they basically reversed the colors, right? So now it's blue on white, and the new one is white on blue. Oh, I really don't like this ramp over here. That's why recently I started using the other one. All right, time for lunch. Thanks for watching. Take care.